Hey guys, back with another FPL video. In this video, I will preview some of the best fixtures to target in this game week. So if you have a player in mind that you want to buy, then this video might give you the information that you need. So let's start with the first game of the game week, Brighton versus Man United. Let's talk about Man United's attack first. I feel like the Brighton defense, they play an ultra expansive football under new manager Fabian Hurzeler. They play a high line and they're also playing at home at the MX Stadium. So there might be weaknesses to exploit for Man United's attacking options. This is good. The high line is good for the likes of Marcus Rashford, Amad Diallo, Garnacho as well, Bruno if he's playing as a false nine alongside Mason Mount. He's also good. He can also make runs in behind. And I feel like this might be the good fixture to start with Xerxes up front and Bruno as someone slightly behind him, because I think Xerxes is someone that is very good as a focal point for the likes of Bruno to play ping pong passes and make runs in behind, because Xerxes also likes to drop in deeper. So I have no problems picking Bruno in this game actually, because yeah, as I said, Xerxes is a good companion up front. And also with Brighton playing a high line, I feel like United will get more one-on-one opportunities out wide for the likes of Rashford and also Garnacho out wide. This might have indirect implications on Bruno's potential, because these wingers can isolate Brighton's fullbacks, and these wingers are actually very good one-on-one, and they can get fouled in and around the box or inside the box, and this might mean points haul for Bruno Fernandes, because if United get fouled inside the box, Bruno will get the penalties, or even outside the penalty box, he will get a free kick. Then I think Bruno will have a direct advantage as well as indirect ones in this game. So yeah, Bruno is someone that is very interesting in this game week. And also from Brighton's attacking perspective, I don't think this will be an easy game for Brighton, because I feel like United can be the surprise package this season. I feel like they have a different mentality under Ineos. They're a different leadership. They buy someone like Matthijs de Ligt, Mazraoui. I feel like Man United will have more control this season, and they will not be bullied as easily as last season. But I feel like they still have some trouble to close the pockets of spaces in midfield. So for the likes of Joao Pedro, who is quite good at finding these pockets of spaces, playing in behind, well back, I feel like if I can pick one person to benefit in this fixture, it is Joao Pedro. But I don't think it is an overall easy game for Brighton. And now moving on to the next game, Crystal Palace versus West Ham United. Playing at home at Selhurst Park, I feel like this could be Ebery Eze's game, because West Ham United defense, I feel like they will set up in a makeshift backline. Aaron Wan-Bissaka hasn't played in the first game week. He could slot in at the right back. Jean-Claire Todibo is also a new signing. Mavropanos is also not a fully settled center back. And they also have Emerson on left back, who is unstable defensively. So I feel like West Ham might be in a transition mode defensively, and they might not be as solid as before. And Ebery Eze, as we've seen against Brentford, he was instrumental in everything. And he also has penalties, free kicks, set pieces. He also got a free kick goal disallowed versus Brentford. I feel like Eze has all the tools to choose from to get a haul in this game. So I like Eze in game week 2. And now moving on to the next game, Fulham versus Leicester. It is a very interesting game. Leicester got dominated by Spurs last time out, and Fulham, they didn't really impress against United, but I think given the fixture, the likes of ESR and Muniz, I feel like they have better joy against Leicester. Especially ESR with his movement, box crashing, and also Muniz, he always gets the chances, the expected goals, in the easy fixtures. I feel like these two players have a good potential, as well as Anthony Robinson, a very advanced attacking fullback who likes to overlap as well as underlap. During preseason, he also likes to work with ESR, and once in the advanced areas, Robinson could cut inside and curl in a shot, which is quite accurate. His crossing is pretty good. His socks is also down, which is actually a good sign of a good player. But yeah, I like Robinson. If he gets a clean sheet in this game, as well as one attacking return, it could be an easy haul for him. And next, Man City versus Ipswich. So I feel like this will be a different game to what we've seen in Game Week 1. Ipswich were very attacking in Game Week 1 against Liverpool because they were playing at home. But now in this case, they are playing at the Etihad Stadium. This has a different feel to it. I feel like they will set up in a low block or possibly mid block. But still, Haaland captain is an easy no-brainer because I expect City to roll past Ipswich. Maybe a prediction like 5-0 win to Man City isn't a big surprise. And if they do score 5 goals to nil, then I expect 3 or 4 goals will come from Erling Haaland. So this game week might not be the perfect game week to be differential. And for those of you who don't have Haaland, you might be tempted to look elsewhere. Someone like Phil Foden is a good choice. But the problem with Foden is we just don't have enough data to be confident enough to pick him from the start, because he kind of looks off against Chelsea. I thought he was just still settling in, adjusting to the club environment. And the timeline, the interval between game week 1 and game week 2, I feel like it's not enough to confidently pick Foden over someone like Haaland. And also another defensive asset, Rico Lewis. Kyle Walker isn't really in the squad, and he might get more minutes this season because Kyle Walker isn't getting any younger, and Pep Guardiola might try to blood young players in. Someone like Rico Lewis, I think he's a very smart player, very technical. He can get advanced. He knows what Pep wants tactically. He can invert. He can attack the half spaces. Yeah, if he keeps on doing these attacking movements, I feel like he has good potential to get an assist or even a goal. We've seen a goal from him before. So yeah, Rico Lewis is someone that is very good in this game week. And next one is Spurs versus Everton. This is a good fixture for Spurs because Everton is without Onana. Onana is the midfield linchpin for the last few years. Without him, Everton is a different case. They just got beaten 3-0 by Brighton away, at home, sorry. And it was a very disappointing result, and it might be a good sign of the things to come. And they will possibly be without Braithwaite and also Ashley Young, who got red carded. So they will fill in makeshift defenders. Someone like Mason Holgate could fill in. Michael Keane at center back. If I were an Everton fan, this wouldn't fill me with confidence. And Spurs attacking assets like Solanke and Son could get a pretty good haul, as well as Pedro Porro. and also a small shout for James Maddison. Aston Villa versus Arsenal. I feel like this is a tough fixture for Villa because Arsenal are very good defensively, possibly the best defense this season. But what surprises me is the midfield duo, Tielemans and Onana. During preseason, Villa haven't really impressed me, but from the first game week, I was very impressed because the midfield duo, Tielemans and Onana, improves Villa's attack immensely. I feel like this midfield duo has the perfect combination of physicality, technicality, and ball progression, which improves their attack. So the likes of Rogers and Watkins are worth watching. I don't think you should buy any of these two. I think this is the perfect game week to monitor these two players because after this, after game week 3 onwards, these two Villa assets will become quite popular. As well as a decent shout for Ian Maatsen because Villa bought him for significant price, and I'm sure that he will be starting pretty soon over Digne. And from what I've seen from his time at Dortmund, Maatsen is a very modern attacking fullback. Gets very advanced, likes to cross, his crossing is very accurate, and his finishing skills is also pretty good. So if he nails down that left back spot, Maatsen is a very good pick for this FPL season. And also from Arsenal's attacking perspective, as always, Aston Villa will leave spaces, especially playing at home. The likes of Saka and Havertz might get good hauls in this fixture. The possible weaknesses for Villa is out wide, fullback positions, Digne and Cash. Digne, very attacking, might leave spaces in behind. Cash, just conceded penalty, very inconsistent at fullback. So the likes of Martinelli and Saka could get joy and possibly shoot, cut inside, or even cross to Havertz. So yeah, this fixture is good for Arsenal attacking assets. And the last one, but not least, is the interesting one, Liverpool versus Brentford. This is a different type of fixture and very interesting one for Salah especially, as a non-owner like me or even an owner. Because Brentford might set up differently to Ipswich. Ipswich were very offensive in the first game week, which gives advantage to Salah. But I feel like Brentford will set up differently in a low block, sort of mid block, in a back five. So from the evidence during preseason, in this situation, Salah might be forced out wide to spread the pitch apart so that the central players could congest centrally, the likes of Szoboszlai, McAllister, Trent to invert. So Salah might be the scapegoat here in this fixture. And usually against low block, someone like Jota, who is waiting, lingering inside the box, waiting for the perfect delivery to come, I think he has a good timing to find the right place inside the box to head in the ball. Trent Alexander-Arnold is also very good against low block because he likes to invert in these circumstances. So when he inverts, usually he finds himself outside the box, and yeah, in this territory he can make long shots or he can make those perfect deliveries into the box. Szoboszlai is also an interesting case. He got an assist in game week 1 against Ipswich. Maybe hasn't started his engine, but I feel like with an assist under his belt, maybe he will try to step up his game. Maybe he will set his sights on a goal, for example, because he's playing in a very advanced role as a number 10. In this position, he can make long shots, he can make assists, he can be instrumental to Liverpool's attack. So I feel like he will build up this momentum. Maybe he didn't explode in game week 1, but he will build up this momentum as the games progress. And so this makes Szoboszlai an interesting watch. Not an easy buy, but an interesting watch and see. So that's all for the best fixtures in this game week. Now I will try to cover some of your questions from Twitter. There are not many, only two. I hope there will be more questions to come so that I can cover more topics, so that I know what questions are being posed by the FPL community. I'm happy to answer. So the first question from Classic Vince. Which combination do you prefer for the next 10 game weeks? Saka and Jota or Salah and Havertz? First and foremost, I'm not really sure. I haven't really checked the exact next 10 game weeks, but from this question, I assume that you mean midterm fixtures. So for midterm fixtures, for the nailed onness of some of these players, Jota and Havertz I don't think are nailed on. Jota could be easily replaced by Gakpo or even Darwin Nunez. Havertz, I think Gabriel Jesus is too good to stay on the bench. But since I have Saka and Jota, I have a bias towards this duo because I feel like Jota could cover Salah with 5 million less because Jota is playing more advanced than Salah. So yeah, I would prefer Saka and Jota. The next, this is not a question, but yeah, Felin Hossa, hidden gems like Palmer this year. Yeah, it's not easy to discover someone like Palmer, but if I can predict one or two FPL assets that can come good like Palmer, I would say Rogers from Villa. Many Aston Villa fans expect him to do well, expect this season to be his breakthrough season, and especially if Villa don't buy another center forward, Rogers could be a decent shout throughout the season because he's playing as that link-up player between midfield and forward behind Watkins. And he also has good finishing skills in and around the box. So I feel like a potential good haul is waiting for him. And also there are some assets like Minte, 5.5, not quite at that Palmer's price bracket, but yeah, Minte could be explosive this season too. So that's all for the questions and for the analysis for the upcoming Game Week 2. I hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, then maybe you can support this channel with a like and a subscribe because I will keep providing this content. And also don't forget to drop some comments down below so that I can answer for the next video. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you all in the next game week.